that bullshit, man. I'm trying to let these nut hang, yeah.
Trey made the beat, I'm
You know what I'm saying? What's good with y'all boys, man? What's good with y'all boys, man? We already, I don't know, man. Loud ass neighborhood, loud ass house. Oh, there you go. It's about time, man. What's good with y'all, man? Today we got another reaction video, man. It's early morning, man. Again, 7:42, bro. 7:42, bro. It's early morning again. On my daily grind, though. Today, the harsh truth about the GOAT debate. I bet first. I don't know. I never knew, like, I never had this, like, I always had this debate with, like, homies and shit. Deep down, though, I never knew, like, I don't know, I guess I could just say it was Mike, you know, I'm from Chicago, you know what I'm saying? Six rings, all that. I never watched him play. That's the only thing I always hated. I asked my mom, like, did you ever watch Mike play? Or yada yada. She was like, yeah, I used to go to his games. I'm like, damn, for real? Like, you old, baby. You old, baby, but I don't know. I honestly don't know. Like, I don't know. I honestly don't know who I'd say, him or LeBron, but I don't know. Hopefully this video changed my mind. I don't know. My GOAT right now, though, that ass is it's not even either one of these two persons. Y'all know who my GOAT is. Y'all know that man right there. That man right there. That's what my GOAT is. We don't talk about him. I don't understand why. I don't understand how. That's a whole different story, though. But I'm finna get straight to the video, man. No talk. The harsh truth about the GOAT debate. Let's do it.
To get the fresh 14 for the Lakers. LeBron! Look out below! Oh my lord!
All-star. Okay.
It's never gonna end, is it? LeBron's reign over the NBA. I've just come to the conclusion that LeBron has hacked into the Matrix and has transcended aging. LeBron is in his 19th NBA season and is somehow still one of the best players on the planet.
Let me say that before we even get to this, the fact that this man is in year 19. All these Mike, Cole, basically damn near every superstar that was in year 19 was nowhere near what this man is doing in year 19, which is incredible. Like, it's fucking crazy, bro. It's crazy to see that shit, bro. And then one thing, I never saw LeBron ever. I never seen this man play. I never seen him play before. I never seen him in person, none of that shit. So I don't know, maybe this video changed my life.
This isn't supposed to happen. 99% of NBA players peak in their mid to late 20s and then slowly regress as they age, eventually becoming a liability to their team and inevitably sailing off into the sunset, washed up and content with their achievements. But not LeBron. The man is fighting his age like he's got a grudge on time itself. And the more he piles up on these mind-bending feats, the more we must ask ourselves the
who y'all think to go debate? Comment down this video. Before the video even finishes, who y'all think? But this video might change my mind. This video ain't gonna change my mind. It might change y'all mind.
question. And I really hate to do this, but is LeBron the greatest basketball player of all time? And if he isn't, what would he need to do to truly, once and for all, be the GOAT?
Shout out my boy Jimmy.
About 5 years ago, I uploaded my first basketball-related video onto this channel. The title of that video is LeBron the GOAT. You can still watch this video today, but since it's an absolute dog water of a production, I highly recommend you steer clear of it. To summarize the video, I gave 10 reasons why LeBron would retire as the GOAT. Fast forward 5 years and thousands of hours of watching games, collecting data, and gathering context in this sport that we love. I've since changed my ways and realized that Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time. But my original assessment from 5 years ago hasn't completely changed.
Young Mike, what was that? That 1990, 91, that ain't young. That 1990, 91 was like prime. In the field, research, man. Do my research. I know a little about
changed. Because I never said LeBron was the GOAT at the time. I just gave 10 reasons why
I
LeBron
don't know. That prime Bron in Miami. That number 6, not this number 6, that Miami. That Miami LeBron. That'd be tough. That one-on-one Miami Bron versus 1990. Like,
would retire as the GOAT. But ever since I dropped that video, I've pretty much avoided the GOAT conversation altogether. I've put a spin on the idea of the greatest players in certain aspects of the game. I've talked about the greatest scorers, I've ranked players using purely numbers, but I've never really broken down who the greatest player is, in my opinion, because I just feel like the topic, no need for me to do it. This different camps and people who are wrong. I'm just joking, of course, but not really. I'd say about 75% of people fall into the MJ's the GOAT is Wilt or Kobe or Kareem.
that's where I'm at. I'm the 5%. Goddamn. Kareem. Will. I know Kareem. I think he got like the most MVPs or some shit like that, but he got like 6. Will. I don't know. I know 100 points. Everybody knows that. I don't know about like rings and shit. Yeah, you can't forget about Kareem and Magic, but you can't do Kobe and Shaq like that, bro.
There's not many of them, but boy, will they die on that hill. See, the thing here is that a lot of the fans in MJ's corner believe that he is and will forever be the GOAT. But realistically, is there anything LeBron can do to surpass him? I mean, there's gotta be some sort of objective metric we can use to distinguish the greatest player of all time. No opinions, no bias, just the facts. If LeBron somehow won 4 more championships and retired with 8 rings, he'd undoubtedly be the GOAT, right? So there are paths for him to become the greatest ever. But where does that threshold lie, and what would LeBron have to achieve to get there?
Okay.
First, let's just take a look at the basic numbers. Between Michael and LeBron, LeBron has more career.
Whoa. Whoa. All I see is green, 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 green. Okay, he got more points. That's because Bron take his body more than Mike. We all know that. We all know Bron was a rebounder. We all know Bron is an assister. He's an every. This is the only thing Mike cared about was these points. Bron is a full figure body, and that's why people had this debate right now because of this. He can do everything, literally. Damn it! God damn! I didn't know he had 1,000 blocks. Shit. This last year LeBron? I mean, this year LeBron shooting 51%. Shit.
Points, rebounds, assists, blocks, more triple
Now Bron up 1 up.
doubles, higher field goal percentage, and a higher three-point percentage. And Michael has more steals and a higher free throw percentage. But this whole argument, the career totals argument, is only useful in demonstrating LeBron's longevity and sustained excellence. These numbers don't prove that LeBron's a better scorer, or rebounder, or defender, or shooter.
How? It literally just, this man just said, don't prove that LeBron is a better rebounder and scorer, but the man just, he has more, damn near double everything.
Excellence. These numbers don't prove that LeBron's a better scorer, or rebounder, or defender, or shooter than Jordan. They just prove that LeBron's been good at these things for a very, very long time. These numbers also show just how versatile LeBron is, possibly his most valuable asset.
I don't believe that. He said it just proves how long he's been good at it for a long time. So when that means he's better now, Mike could have did it too, but Mike ain't do it. I don't know.
So instead of looking at career totals, let's look at career averages. Michael averages more points and more steals, and LeBron averages more assists and more rebounds. And as much as it pains me to say this, this is usually where the argument for the GOAT ends for most people.
I don't like this. Okay. I believe LeBron averaged 30 this year. LeBron could average 30 if he really wanted to, like, put a team on his back and everything. If he really wanted to do that, he definitely can. He's just so versatile with these two. He makes sure he get them rebounds and them assists. So he don't really focus on that. But I promise to God, bro. I was watching another video. There was a lot of NBA players saying that they can average way more than they really can. It's just the rules and how ball movement and everything is set up and team players and shit. But they
throw in a required comment about.
I can't care about that though. That's a whole different grade. Give me the ball, get the fuck out the way.
About their finals records, and you pretty much have a condensed version of most GOAT debates. But there is so much more to unpack here. So let's unpack it. So y'all know how much I like advanced stats. They don't tell the full story, but if you know which ones to look for, you can discover some nuances in a player's game that you won't get by just watching them play. Player efficiency rating, win shares per 48, offensive box plus minus, defensive box plus minus, value over replacement, and true shooting percentage. These 6 advanced stats give us efficiency, production, value, impact, and pretty much everything in between. And in these
come up about, what year was this? Like, I know what PER is, but all this other shit, when was this?
6 advanced statistics, Michael Jordan exceeds LeBron in 5 of them. He's more efficient overall. He contributes to more wins. He contributes to more points. He's better on defense, and he is generally more valuable on the court than LeBron is. The only advanced stat where LeBron tops Jordan is true shooting percentage. Now, in terms of who's a better basketball player, nearly every metric points to Michael Jordan. But really take a look at these numbers, and it's actually uncanny just how close LeBron is to MJ across the board. Just a fraction behind Jordan.
That's what I'm saying, like, Bron,
pretty much everything. But these numbers aren't even addressing who's greater, because that conversation would involve accolades and accomplishments and impact on the game. Take away the rings, the influence, the intangibles, the opinions, and it's virtually objectively true that Michael was a better basketball player than LeBron. But the GOAT debate isn't necessarily about who is the better player. It's about who is the greatest player. We've got some more unpacking to do. Now, we cannot have a thorough GOAT debate without discussing the accomplishments
what GOAT debate? Pause my way.
Of each player. Numbers are cool and they have their purpose, but numbers alone aren't indicative of greatness. They're just a vehicle to greatness. This is why, despite James Harden spending half a decade piling up some of the greatest scoring numbers in NBA history, most people don't consider him greater than some players with far lesser offensive numbers. The numbers complement the accolades, not the other way around. This is also
bubble season was a different season, bro. That season was tough. Everybody was hooping. Oh my God.
Why I consider Wilt Chamberlain to have been a better basketball player than Bill Russell, but Bill Russell was greater than Wilt. Wilt achieved his greatness through his numbers, whereas Russell achieved his greatness by contributing to an unrelenting style of winning basketball. So let's take a look at the accomplishments of both Michael Jordan and LeBron James. Now, there are plenty of other awards a player can earn in the NBA, but these are the ones that really stand out on a player's resume.
You know this. I feel like I know this before he even finna say this. We got 6-4 Finals MVPs. I don't know how many Mike back. I know Bron got 4. And MVPs, I know Bron got 4. Defensive Player of the Years, I know Mike got 1. I don't know how Bron got all NBA, all defense. I think Bron got like 13 plus all NBA. I don't know about all defense though. I don't even have Bron. If Bron won the Defensive Player of the Year, that's tough.
Championships, Finals MVPs, regular season MVPs, Defensive Player of the Year, all NBA selections, and all defensive team selections. And amongst these 6 categories, Jordan beats LeBron in 5 of them. And Michael accomplished all of this in just 15 seasons to LeBron's full 18 seasons. The only category where LeBron outperformed Michael is in all NBA selections. And most will argue that, again, this is an accomplishment of longevity more than anything else, which, at this point, seems to be the overall theme in the GOAT debate. Up to this point in his career, the majority of fans will agree that LeBron has been a step below Jordan in terms of greatness. So now the race to become the GOAT has become a marathon. because eventually the sheer volume of LeBron's career numbers and achievements may become so overwhelming that we'll have no choice but to concede that he is in fact the greatest player of all time. Which brings us to a real dilemma in this age-old debate.
There's a chance.
The flame that burns twice as bright burns half as long. A great quote by the ancient Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu regarding the idea of excellence and the sustainability of it. Almost as if you can have longevity or be exceptional, but you can't have both. Now, in the world of basketball and sports in general,
I think I might have to react to some old Brian highlights, bro. Hey, I barely watch this man play, so I don't really know, bro. I don't know. We might.
usually being exceptional translates to longevity and vice versa. Michael Jordan was excellent for 13 seasons in the NBA. His flame was violently bright and it burned for quite some time. But what if there was a flame that burned about 95% as bright and lasted much, much longer? At a certain point, the radiance of even the brightest flame is outclassed by the flame that just won't quit. Of course, LeBron isn't a flame. He's a 6'9", 250-pound freak of nature in basketball shoes, but his light shines about 95% as bright as Michael Jordan's did, and it's lasting a whole lot longer. When does the longevity of LeBron's brilliance simply outmatch the slightly greater but much shorter brilliance of Michael? Because as we've discussed, Mike trumps LeBron in pretty much every single metric other than longevity and overall production. So the real question here is, how much longer will LeBron have to be excellent before the majority agrees that he is greater than Michael was? The man is in his 19th NBA season and he's leading the NBA in scoring. He's still a top 5 player in the league and his bag is getting deeper and deeper with every season. Here's a chart of LeBron's total points, assists, and rebound averages throughout each season of his career.
This is damn. The basic way he was at 7. What was that? 7 years? No, 7 years high. I say 13, 14, 15th year season. I say year. Damn, Brian. This nigga's tough.
Points on the graph represents the total average of points, assists, and rebounds for every season of his career. So, for example, this season LeBron is putting up 8, 6, and 30 a game, so his total for the season is 44. Now, in the NBA, anything above a total of 40 is exceptional. LeBron's total production has exceeded 40 in 17 different seasons. Now here's Michael's total average points, assists, and rebounds for every season of his career.
Bruh, what the fuck? Why that shit go down? I think this last year was with the Wizards. This clearly, no, this ain't. Oh my God. I think this is when he had retired, came back. Probably left again. Ceremonial player for the Wizards, got up out of there.
This is by far the greatest argument in favor of LeBron in the GOAT debate. The man has simply sustained excellence for longer than Mike did. And although the numbers are just a vehicle to greatness, there has got to be a point where the numbers are just too glaring to ignore. LeBron's numbers are getting to that point. But some fans will argue that there were other players that were still really good this late in their career. You mean like Kareem, or Kobe, or Karl Malone?
I told y'all this man in year 19 was different. I love Kobe and everybody else, but this man different in year 19.
They weren't even close. LeBron's already the only player to be a part of the 30K, 10K, 10K club. Aside from a freak injury, he'll undoubtedly break Kareem's scoring record. He'll probably play the most seasons in an NBA career. He already has the record for most All-NBA selections, and he's still adding to what is probably the longest career highlight reel with moments like this. If LeBron is still doing this in a couple years, while still putting up All-NBA numbers, I really think it's going to be difficult to say that he's not the greatest player ever. You know what? I'm just gonna say it. While LeBron's legacy is growing as he plays more seasons, Michael's legacy would have been slightly diminished if he played more seasons. Of course, this isn't a matter of fact, but all the evidence points towards this assumption. Michael Jordan retiring after playing just 13 NBA seasons in 1998 was the best thing he could have ever done for his legacy. The Bulls were not going to win another championship, and the backbone of the dynasty he had built had all but vanished by the beginning of the 1999 season. If he had played through that 3-year retirement gap from 1999 to 2001, he would have either stayed with the Bulls and put up huge numbers on a losing team, or signed with a different team and chased rings. Both options being far less illustrious than him going out on top with the team that drafted him. Michael's career was the perfect storm. He was drafted by a franchise that
2001, wasn't that a young Froby and I don't know. 2001, I think that was prime Beazle.
Was ready and willing to build around him. He was on a roster that suited his skill sets extremely well, and he and the Bulls peaked right as the dominant teams from the 80s and early 90s like the Lakers, Celtics, and Pistons began to fade away. You could not have written a better career if you tried. On the other hand, despite his success, LeBron really got the short end of the deal many times throughout his career. He spent his first 7 seasons in the NBA playing for a team that could not have cared less about building a coherent team around him. He spent 4 straight finals going toe-to-toe with the most dominant dynasty in modern NBA history outside of Jordan's Bulls. While Michael was surrounded by players who were all willing to buy into their system, LeBron has spent many years carrying the load of bad rosters and seemingly incompetent teammates.
See, that's facts. That's what a lot of people say, that Bron carried damn near his whole life. And Mike ain't have to worry about none of that because he had people around him. But people say Mike just know how to use those people around him. Bron did yada yada. Just bullshit. But Bron been carrying his whole life, bro. And I think this year and last year was the only 2 years this man didn't make it to like the damn playoffs. He made it to the playoffs like 13 consecutive years, bro. Damn near his whole season. Like, come on now. That's what people say, and that's why I agree. Like, that's why I'm like, man, this shit, that's facts.
It's part of which is his own fault for trying to play GM and putting together piss-poor rosters. And I bring up these small nuances because the GOAT debate is very nuanced. As much as people want to act like the whole 6-0 in the finals is the end-all be-all to the discussion, it's just not. If rings were all that mattered, then Bill Russell would be the GOAT. Oh, but he played a long time ago. That doesn't count. Okay, well then Robert Horry is the GOAT because he had...
Ooh. I know that's the shot from one of the finals. Shaq had missed, tipped it back out. But, oh.
Has 7 rings to Jordan's 6. Well, yeah, but Horry wasn't the best player on any of those championships. Okay, so is the argument about rings, or is it about being the best player on the court, or a mixture of both? Is a player's performance, despite how masterful it was, all in vain if his team loses? The line becomes less and less clear the deeper you dig. No single metric can be used to determine this debate, and the unpacking of every small minute detail is a necessary burden. But unfortunately, it's a burden that most fans won't bother to take on. At the moment, I personally believe Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time. I also think he's the best basketball player of all time. But, unlike some fans, I don't think the door has closed on LeBron. I think that if LeBron can continue to dominate the league for a few more seasons and continue to shatter our previous notions of what we thought was possible in a single NBA career, I think that he has a chance to retire as the greatest player of all time. But of course, only time will tell. And fortunately for LeBron, time seems to perpetually be on his side.
In his prime. Damn. Yeah, Bron at the end of his prime right now. That's why I need to go see this man. Like, I need to go to a fucking Bulls game. Maybe he played before he retired, bro. Because I always hate myself. I never watched the game of Kobe, bro. Like, I probably watched one game. I think that was like 2008 finals when he's him in Boston. I wasn't even fucking into it again. I had to watch the game because I was at my homie crib. I was just bored, bro. Just bored, but man, I would have watched that man, bro. But damn, it's a good ass video. Hey Jimmy, you did your shit, boy. Good look. Hey, I fuck with Jimmy. I always watch this video. My favorite video about him is that Giannis video. Y'all know how I feel about that, man. That's a different breed right there. Hey, though, that's the end of the video, man. I think I'm probably gonna react to this next one. I don't know. That's the end of the video, man. I appreciate y'all. Who y'all think the GOAT is? Y'all think, who do y'all think the GOAT still is? Y'all think it's Bron or Mike? My boy Jimmy says Mike. Gotta be from Chicago. No, I still think it's Kobe. I don't care about what this man just said, even though it was a nice ass video. I love Kobe to the day I die. That's my mans. That's my mans. Appreciate y'all doing. See y'all in the next video, man. Y'all be safe. Drink water. Love y'all boys. Peace.